Jessica Harper, a young woman from a small town in eastern Maine, had always considered herself a down-to-earth person. She worked at the local library, lived alone in a cozy but old house, and loved quiet evenings with a book and a cup of tea. However, everything changed the night she first saw a shadow in the glass. This story began with a simple mirror. Jessica had bought it one day at an antique shop on sale. It had attracted her with its exquisitely carved frame, antique but in excellent condition. The salesman, an elderly man with a misty look, warned her, "This mirror is special. Be careful." Jessica only smiled, thinking his words were part of a marketing gimmick, and took the mirror home. The mirror fit perfectly in her bedroom. The first night Jessica noticed an oddity. As she walked past the mirror, it seemed to her that her reflection lingered slightly, as if it were late for her movement. She put it down to fatigue. But on the second night, things got worse. Waking in the middle of the night with the sensation of someone watching her, Jessica glanced in the mirror. Something was moving in its depths. A dark, human-like figure stood behind her reflection. Jessica's heart clenched with terror. She turned around, but there was no one in the room. Turning her gaze back to the mirror, she saw only her pale face. The next day she told her friend Sarah about it, who immediately remembered a local myth. "Have you heard of the shadow?" Sarah asked. "It's an old legend here in Maine. They say that some mirrors are inhabited by an entity that watches people until they fall victim to it. It waits for the moment to take them into its realm." Jessica wanted to laugh at her friend's words, but her hands trembled. She remembered the salesman's warning. A special mirror. What if the myth was true? That night Jessica decided not to sleep. She sat in front of the mirror with the lamp on, intent on proving it was all just her imagination. The hours dragged on slowly, but around 3 in the morning the lights in the room flickered and then went out. In the ensuing darkness the mirror began to pulse with a faint, ominous light. The shadow appeared again, but now it moved. It extended long, curved fingers, as if trying to break through the glass surface. Jessica screamed, but her voice was drowned out in the muffled whisper that filled the room. "You're mine now." The next morning, neighbors found Jessica's house empty. The mirror that stood in her bedroom was covered in cracks, and in the depths of its glass surface a shadow seemed to flicker. Since then, no one has dared to buy antique mirrors in this town. After all, myths, as it turns out, can be frighteningly real. This story is a reminder that modern myths often reflect our hidden fears, loneliness, loss of control, or the invasion of something alien into our daily lives. In a world of technology and rational thinking, we still fear what cannot be explained.